Hey, welcome back to MCOC Noxie, the Master of Mediocre Gameplay. This is War 3, Season 34. The opponent has banned Torch, Mags, and the good Dr. Doom. Those are good bans. I'm going to check out my path. I'm path 1. Got an open slot there. Then we've got a Spider Ham, only rank 5. That thing is not for me, but it looks like my teammates think it might be. There's a Mole Man that'll come into play later. There's a Nick Fury and a Big Boy Killmonger and Big Boy Nimrod. And then Mini Island doesn't look that interesting. So I'm running with the same team I've been running with, which is Cable, Nebula, Warlock. Been loving playing with Nebula. And so just from the outset, this is the first time I'm rewatching these fights. I'm basically going to give everybody a master class on how not to fight Spider-Ham and how just to play like absolute trash. So I've already taken what, like 6 hits, 7 hits. This is an easy fight for Warlock. By the way, this is a reminder. Take a special face too. That's nice. This is a 5-star rank 5 Spider-Ham. This is a 6-star rank 3. This isn't anything fancy. This isn't anything terrible. This is an easy fight, honestly, just to parry heavy. That's how I've beaten Spider-Ham very easily in the past. He is slippery, he is sneaky, we know that. His animations are a little tricky. He's not always the easiest to parry. Sometimes his attacks are hard to predict and evade. But, my gosh, man, I just made this fight look like it was an impossible fight or something, you know? We're finally winning the health battle. Finally got to an SB2, which we know will take him out. So I want to see how many hits I took in this fight. It's got to be at least 10, right? Let's see. I mean, just embarrassing. Yeah, 10 hits. Awesome. Awesome. Just a great way to start a war. All right, so then here, I'm going to pause this right here for a second. Because this fight was not supposed to be mine. But our alliance has had a lot of turnover recently. And the guys that used to take this particular fight are not on my path anymore. And so communication has just been all crisscrossed, right? And so no one else in Section 1 on the paths 1 through 3 wanted to take this. I take 1, so path 2 and 3 did not want to take this fight. And so I was like, listen, I've got a Nebula, but Nebula is not very good for this fight. Because Nebula, you know, the overwhelming majority of her damage is going to come from shocks, and Mole Man, hello, is immune to shock. Now, thankfully, a lot of the damage that comes from this node is shock damage, which Nebula is also immune to. So it's really just punching, but punching each other a lot is what's going to happen. And I told my alliance leader, I told the other guys, I was like, listen, I don't think I have a good answer for this. And one of the guys was like, no, this will be an easy fight. Don't even sweat it. This is easy. And I'm like, I don't think so. I'll do it. I'm not afraid. Like, I'll do it. But I think this is going to be a real problem. Like, I'm not going to have any power, and I don't think I'm going to be doing enough damage. And both my alliance leader and another guy who normally takes path 3 was just like, sure, just take it. You'll be fine. It'll be easy, is what he said. And I just want to see. I paused it so we could keep going now. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to boost up my Nebula. Of course, Mole Man is an unstoppable armor, which makes the fight just that little degree trickier, right? Because you're going to have to watch the timers. But Mole Man is not a hard fight in and of himself. He's fairly predictable. You just, you obviously don't attack into his block. But you're just going to see, like, the fight starts okay. I get a bunch of crits right off the top, which is great. If I would have been getting the crits moving forward, and I don't know, I may have to look this up later. I think Mole Man might have some critical resistance of some kind. Because we're going to see what happens pretty much starting now is the crits are just are not coming like they should. They're not nearly as often. And so I'm doing good here. At this point, I'm feeling really good about this fight. I'm like, oh man, maybe I was totally wrong. But then I just lose my indestructible like an absolute noob. I don't even know what happened right there, to be honest. Just taking SB1 to the face. So there goes my invuln. So now his SB1 and SB2 are both very easy to evade. I know I'm not going to have power, just that's how this node works. But you see now I'm not doing any damage. Like, I am just doing next to no damage here. And I'm assuming it's because of something I'm doing with the node, or I don't know. But also just that Mole Man is a ridiculous tank. know he has his monster mass way up there. It's at, what, 19? So you see his special attacks are incredibly easy to evade. You know this. You've fought him 100 times like I have. But if you've got, you know, a bleeder, that's great. You got someone who's going to poison him, hey, that's great. But if your primary damage of your champion is shock, he's immune to that. And he's a tank. And so as you can see, we're down to just under 3.5 minutes left. And he still has a big old chunk of his health. And so I'm still not worried. You know, I'm like, well, you know, maybe I'm not getting enough crits. I need to get some more crits. So evade that. Get in there. There's another 2300 quick. Got a crit. A couple crits there in that combo. That's good. Good. Oh, I made a stupid mistake there. Lost track of the timer. And then got just punished stupidly. Nebula is awesome. She heals back up. Super cool. SP2 is easy to punish. Hopefully I'm watching that timer. There we go. He does go unblockable, or unstoppable, excuse me. Oh, he parries me. Just very bad. So now 2.5 minutes, right? So he's winning the HP battle, but that's really not even my concern. I'm just not getting enough damage in, and I've got under 2.5 minutes to go. And he is not even at 50%. And so I'm just trying to get the damage. You can just see my strikes are doing like next to no damage, 290 per hit. So thankfully I watched the timer, but he didn't proc unstoppable that time. So go in there. You're just gonna see like just no damage. So basically my point is, if you run an alliance or you assign fights, do not assign Nebula this fight just because she is shock immune. That is faulty thinking. You have to get someone in there who is a good Mole Man counter, not just node counter, because Mole Man is too beefy and he's a tank, right? He's just too tough. And there, oof. See, that was another mistake. I punched into his unstoppable and didn't pay the price for it there. So now we're down to 1.5 minutes, and he's still at 50%. And this is, I know at this point the fight's over. There's nothing I can do to win this fight at this point. Minute 15 almost. There's minute 15. Nothing I can do. I got him down to 50%. He goes unstoppable again. And then I just got, I just gave up. I didn't intentionally take that hit, but I just was like, man, this is over. And so, hold on. Before this next Fury fight, I'm going to pause for a second. Because what happened is the guy came right behind me, and the guy who was supposed to be on the path because there was a mix-up, and he had a Falcon and a Mole Man on his roster. And they were both significantly better options for that Mole Man. So I'm just a little ticked off, if you can't tell. Like, he had 2 better options than any of my 3 options, and yet I was told to go in there, and I was right. Very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. So now here we've got a 5-star, rank 5 Nick. I'm just ticked. I'm just still upset about that death because I've been playing fairly intentional, To be told a fight is going to be easy and it is not easy is, validating, but I don't want that kind of validation, So we're just trying to bleed Nick down, trying to keep his attack charges low. Just missed a parry there, lost my invul. Got my SP2. My goal is to not give him specials because he's draining when he's healing there. So I'm letting him drain. So I've got my SP3, and I think, if I remember correctly, that I hold on to this SP3 for a while. I think I hold on to it until kind of the end of his second life, to be honest. Let's see here. So there's, got so lucky right there. The AI, I'm sure you've noticed this, has gotten way better at parrying you. And then I guess I was just slow. I feel like I was slow like 3 times this fight. I'm assuming this defender has a high state of limber. And so my goal here is just to let him burn himself out a little bit. He doesn't have the infection on, so I think you're going to see heals here in a second. Yeah, so there he heals. But he's still degenerating, of course, because he's got to get down to 30%. My goal is to use the SP3 to do as much damage as possible. I think I use it here pretty soon. Yeah, I use it right here. So he's unblockable. I pushed him past that, which is good. And then this doesn't kill him, but it sets me up for an easy finish. So got him down to just a low percentage there. Got him to his SP2. Oh, got him to his SP1. Then I intercept, and he's gone. All right. So now I've got a Killmonger. This is a rank 3 duped Killmonger, and then I've got a rank 3 Nimrod. Getting ready for this Killmonger fight. Just got to heal up a little bit. Oh, let's see. Do I heal up all the way, or do I just let it ride? Oh, I let it ride. Nice. That's confidence. Let's see if it turns out to be the smart decision or not. Killmonger is a beefy boy, right? You know, he's tough. He is healing, so he's draining. There he is, draining again because the node has him healing. Sorry, I'm just watching this fight. This is the first time I've seen it, so that's not very good commentary. So I'm just trying to bait him into a special one. And I'll SP2 him here. Good, no armor up. There's SP1. Just a bait out of that. So he's draining his power, which is nice. And I mean, I think you've basically seen at this point the strategy of this fight. Boy, I just took a combo right there, lost my indestructible. Just poor play. He's draining again because the healing is on. Once again, he can't heal because I have the heal block. But when the regeneration procs, he will drain because that's a function of Warlock. So here we got SP2, that does some nice damage there. Now Killmonger he's very beefy, he has a high health pool, but he also has crit resistance and armor. And so, you know, if you're ever thinking about ranking a Killmonger to play, he's a lot of fun to play because of his charges and everything. And I think the fight's not over yet. I might forget about his charges here at some point. Maybe not. All right, so I'm going to finish him off right here. Boom. All right, so there goes Killmonger. Took, what, 3 hits? What is it? Let me see. 4 hits, okay. But as you can tell, it took a lot of hits to take him down. You know, Warlock doesn't do the biggest damage, but he's awesome. All right, so now you know what's coming. It's the Nimrod that everybody puts on this node. There's got to be someone better to put on this node, to be honest, because it's just a really fun Nebula fight, to be honest. And so you just get to 5 tag charges and shut them down and shut the node down. If you follow my channel, you've probably seen me do this fight already. I just love it because it's a short fight, and it's just fun to absolutely nuke such a good defender like Nimrod on such a hard node like this one. So you go into it basically saying like, hey, I'm going to take some block damage. That's fine. I'm going to bait out the heavy. I'll punish the heavy. If possible, I prefer to push him to his SP2 because that one's extremely easy to evade. Now, if you don't evade it and get clipped by it, it destroys you. But I don't know how to dex to SP1, so you know, I'm fine just taking SP1 right here on the block. I've got my 20 amp charges. I'm over 2 bars. I'm going to parry him here. Bop, 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 and watch that health just slip away. Boom, boom, boom. Gone. Gone. So that's just one of my favorite fights on the map. People keep putting Nimrod there, and as long as they keep putting Nimrod there, I'll keep fighting him with Nebula and keep destroying him. So it's a really fun fight. And we won this war. So that's nice. This is our first war of the season, 1 and 2. It's not where we want to be, but it sure is better than 0 and 3. So hopefully we're getting our communication improved with the new players. And I hope you come back to see War 4 and beyond. Have a good one, guys. Be good.